In this video, I'll show you how to solve the ALEKS problem called predicting the relative heat of hydration of ions. This is a pretty straightforward problem. First of all, when you look at your problem, you're just going to see one set of 4 ions, and you're being asked to rank those ions in order of their enthalpy of hydration, which is just the enthalpy associated with dissolving them in water. I've got 4 sets on this slide so that we can get lots of practice solving this problem. There are 2 variables that you're going to be looking at when you are coming up with these rankings. Number 1, the first thing that I want you to look at is the charge on the ions. You can see that they're just kind of indicated right on the little sphere there, what the different charges are. The larger the charge is, the greater the enthalpy of hydration will be. So large charge equals, let's see, bigger is the term that ALEKS is using, bigger delta H. And this problem is really looking only at absolute values here. So it doesn't matter if we're talking about a very largely negative charge or a largely positive charge. We're just looking at the absolute values. And then the second variable that we're going to look at is the size of the ions. The smaller the ion is, the bigger the delta H will be. So the smaller radius equals bigger delta H. And so when we are working on these sets of problems, what we're going to do first of all is find all of the ions that have the largest possible charge. So if we're just looking at this first set of 4, we've got 2 ions with a charge that is a magnitude of 2, and those are going to be our largest delta H values. The one that is smaller of the 2 is the one that's going to have the biggest delta H, which ALEKS is calling, biggest delta H ALEKS is calling a 4. So this is going to be our number 4, this is going to be our number 3. And then of the remaining 2, those have a charge with a magnitude of 1. The smaller of these two is going to have, the bigger delta H. So that's going to be number 2. And this guy up here would be number 1 with the lowest delta H. Let's practice a few more times. So again, first of all, you're going to look for the largest charge in this set of ions. This is our largest charge. So that's going to be our biggest delta H. And then all the remaining ions have a +1 charge. To organize or order them, we're just going to do it in terms of size. The smaller radius is the bigger delta H, and then we just go down like that. And again, ALEKS is using 1 for the smallest enthalpy and 4 for the largest. And again, these we're just looking at absolute values. So the -2 is the one that has the largest absolute value of charge. That's going to be the one with the largest delta H. The rest of them have a -1 charge. Then we're going to organize that smallest to largest. And then last but not least, we've got 2 ions that have a charge with a magnitude of 2. The smaller radius is going to be the one with the biggest delta H. And then we have 2 ions with a -1 charge, and we rank them by size as well.